In this video, I'll be sharing with you the greatest lesson I learned in high school and how has life skills changed me personally. Well, I think the greatest lesson I learned in high school is the fact that school in itself is a training ground for life. Because school taught me numerous skill sets that I think are closely related to the skill sets required later on in life. The first skill set would be perseverance. In school, how could I develop positive, energetic attitude despite academic troubles, despite problems with my teachers or friends? And perseverance really helps me to keep looking forward, to not be restrained by my worries, to know that there will always be better days ahead. After perseverance, school taught me time management. How could I set clear priorities and allocate my time towards what matters the most? In school, this would relate to me choosing either academics or family. In work later on, I think it's either choosing work or family, which is more important, work or family. So it really forms a basis of supporting me to decide appropriately with effective time management. After time management, high school taught me to self control in dealing with people of different personalities and academic hardships. This would be manifested by me restraining myself from being too emotional to disagreements and offenses. Back then in high school, I had numerous disagreements with my friends over certain academic topics, and too often I was impulsive. But as time goes by, high school forms me to become less impulsive and, and taught me to restrain myself from being too impulsive and being too spontaneous in being vocal. And this relates to my work later on. Perhaps later on I will face disagreements with my boss, with my coworkers over certain things. So restraining myself would be one of the best measures in preventing further conflicts from occurring. After self-control, school taught me to reach different levels of complexity in learning. Back then in high school taught me from a smaller scale to connect informations logically. After connecting informations logically in a smaller scale, I began connecting informations logically in an intermediate scale. And later on in university, I'm pretty sure that this skill will facilitate me in connecting informations in a much higher scale. In life skills have taught me to critical think, to problem solve um, problems, to develop creative ideas with fluency and eloquence. And after reaching different levels of complexity in learning, high school taught me to be more self-aware to myself. High school has taught me to identify my weaknesses. What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? What are my competences? What am I good at? What am I passionate about? What major should I be taking given the weaknesses and strengths that I had just identified? What are my aspirations? What are my long-term goals? What will be my career? So high school set forth those visions and those aspirations, and I believe that this skill will carry on later on in life by manifesting values that I look up to most, be it money, be it society, be it research. So again, I think school itself is a training ground for life, and that's what I learned the most after being in high school for 4 years. This year's life school has taught me a variety of lessons, and I think there's a direct relationship between Christian apologetics and mere Christianity with marriages and resolving conflicts in marriages. So I think there's a direct relationship between the four cardinal virtues such as prudence, justice, temperament, and forgiveness with resolving conflicts in marriages. And I think the principles that Mr. Jimmy taught us in resolving conflicts in marriages, I think it same applies to my day-to-day interpersonal relationship currently with my friends, parents, and later on with my teachers or with my boss. So I think I I think life skills has taught me to not overcommit. Now I find myself more easier to commit myself to people that are most important in my life. I now find time really for conversation, for having fun, engaging, and fearless conversation without arguments, without developing a series of arguments or empty words. I find myself better able to appreciate my friends, my parents, though they have their own faults and mistakes. And I think my paradigm has been shifted. Now I view that the most important aspect in relationship is intimacy, regardless of personal competence or ability. I think intimacy, just as what Mr. Jimmy has had taught us, really forms the basis of a well functioning and good relationship. So that has changed me this year, and that's what I learned in life skills this year.